Tonight on the HPT, we're at the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa in St. Charles, Missouri, where a field of 316 entrants generated a prize pool of over $700,000. Going out in ninth place was painting contractor and Hillsboro, Missouri native Paul Belkin. Running low on chips with ace-4 in the big blind, Paul shoved all in against the pre-flop raise and pocket kings of Ari Engel. The flop, queen 9 deuce. 2 hearts and no help for Paul. The turn card was the 8 of clubs. The 4 of clubs hit the river, giving Paul a pair of 4s, but it wasn't enough. He was eliminated in ninth place and went home with just under $17,000. Our 8th place finisher was used car dealer and Newburgh, Indiana native Harold Evans. Under the gun with pocket jacks, Harold shoved all in with his last 400,000 chips. Action folded over to the big blind of Jacob Baisley, and he made the call with ace-queen off. The flop, king 6 tray 2 spades. The turn card was the queen of spades, pairing Jacob's queen, giving him the lead, but with the jack of spades in hand, Harold now had a flush draw. The deuce of hearts on the river was no help to Harold, and he was eliminated in 8th place for just under $20,000. And finally, going out in 7th place, making his 4th appearance at an HPT final table, was poker professional and St. Louis native Josh Turner. Facing a pre-flop raise by Neil Patel, Josh re-raised his ace-queen and was called by Neil and his pocket 8s. The flop, 10-7 deuce 2 spades. Neil checks, Josh shoves all in, and Neil made the call. The turn card, the 7 of clubs, no help. Josh needed an ace or queen on the river, but it wasn't meant to be. The jack of diamonds hit, and Josh was eliminated in 7th place. He went home with just under $24,000. All right, folks, we've got 6 players remaining, just under $500,000 to award, and it all starts right now on the HPT. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson alongside Kenna James. And Kenna, we're all very excited because this week is our $2,500 Championship Open. It's the granddaddy of them all as we broadcast here from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa in St. Charles, Missouri.
And hey, let's talk about your favorite subject, the cash. Over $700,000 in this prize pool, over $160,000 for our first place winner. The chip leader right now is Jacob Baisley. He's by far and away got more chips and a big disparity between him and the other players. I expect a lot of all-in action early, so don't go away. It's going to be interesting to see which player pokes their head out and makes a run for this championship against him.
And we've got to mention Ari Engel. Ari, a past HPT champion. He's 34 years old, and look at his poker resume. It pretty much speaks for itself. Over
$5 million in tournament winnings for this young gun. And then we got a couple of Neils at the table. Might make the action a little bit tough to call, Neil Patel and Neil Middleman.
All right, it's going to be a fun time here on the HPT. Let's meet the entire final table, but most importantly, let's take a peek at that prize pool.
Up top in our championship event is a prize of $162,154 on down to 6th place, $28,200. Jacob, he's got the chip lead, 82 big blinds. You can see the difference as the other players are fighting for the scraps all around, about 20 big blinds. I expect a lot of all-ins early because of the disparaging differences between our chip leader Jacob and the rest of the players.
Blinds are $25,000, $50,000 with a $5K ante. Action folded around to the 9-seat, one of our short stacks in Bill, and he's going to get that short stack right in the middle. He's all in on the button with his queen 4.
Yeah, and now over to Neil Middleman. He's asking for a count. Like I said, these short stacks are going to battle it out. He makes a quick call with just 9-3.
Wow.
Well, you know the good thing about 9-3, very rarely are your cards copied.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So that's the positive thing. At least you're probably drawing live, and he is. He's got a 35% chance as we go to the flop.
All right, Bill trying to double up here in the first hand of the night. Flop comes out ace-7 tray, so Neil pairs his 3. He's in the lead. As you see, the percentages there, 74-26. We go to the turn card now, and it's the 5 of hearts.
And Bill is going to need a queen on the river to stay in this tournament, or he will be our 6th place finisher.
He can hit a 6 or a 4, a deuce as well. Let's go to that river card. And it's a queen. He survives. And thanks, James. You caught the extra outs. Always nice to see all the outs you have in the deck. And Bill's going to win this hand and double up.
Yeah, Bill is a lawyer. Got 10th place at our St. Louis event back in 2015. He's got 0 invested in this. He won a couple of satellites, so the guy is on a true free roll here. And 6th place money, you see our minimum cash, $28,200. So he's got to be very happy, and I think he's even happier now on his second hand after his double up. He picks up pocket 6s.
Now, Jake, our chip leader, looking for a chip count. This is one of those spots where you have to decide, are you going to get involved and try and take out these shorter stacks or playing more conservative? I think this is an easy call for him, though.
Jake from Cincinnati, Ohio, a professional player, re-raises all in now.
And that's even better than the call because it forces the blinds out and instead of drawing them in, and now he's going to be in a coin flip here.
All right, we'll see if Bill can continue this free roll here. His 6 is in the lead, going up against 2 big overs, the ace and the jack. Flop comes out 10-9-5, couple of spades. So far, so good for Bill.
Yeah, he's just got to dodge an 8, a jack, or an ace on the river to double up and stay in this tournament.
And the river card is the ace of spades. He's not going to make it through. That'll do it for Bill. Eliminated in 6th place, but not for nothing. Nice little payday, $28,200. 5 players remain, and when we come back, the action will continue right here on the HPT. Welcome back to the HPT. We broadcast this week from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa, St. Charles, right outside of St. Louis. James Larson, my name, alongside Kenneth James. And I looked at a stat the other day. Here on the HPT, we've given out $80 million since 2005, and we'll give out more cash tonight as Ari wakes up with pocket 7s, raises up to $110,000.
Yeah, and Jacob right behind him now with this dominant chip lead. He's got a big decision to make as far as strategy goes. Does he stay out of Ari's way, or does he, get involved and put him to some tough decisions? Ari is a very dangerous player that you're going to have to contend with at some point during this tournament.
Flop is 10-5 deuce. You see Gil defending his big blind with 9-5 of clubs. He's going to check over to Ari.
Ari cutting off some of those orange 25K chips. The teal are the big daddies. Those are worth 100K a piece, and those brown, just a measly 5K.
All right, turn card now. Another club, this time the king of clubs. So Gil pairs his 5 on the flop, turns that 4 flush there with the king of clubs. He checks now over to Ari. You see the percentages. Ari's still in the lead with his pocket pair.
Yeah. And Gil, though, with this flush draw, and his pair, I don't expect him to be going anywhere fast. And sure enough, he's going to make a fast call here. This has got to worry Ari just a little bit. To the river we go.
And the river card is the jack of diamonds. So now Gil checks over with just his pair of 5s here over to Ari, who's got the check mark. You see, he can't lose unless he folds his hand.
But this is a very interesting spot, James, because when you get called twice, it looks like your opponent has the 10, and Ari might be thinking, that jack might be a great bluff card. I could bluff him off a 10 with a king and try and represent a king or a jack, or do I just check it back and give up this pot? Oh, such a tough spot. He decides to check.
He's going to check, and he's going to see that his hand is good. He doesn't even want to flip it over. Pocket 7's good for a pot of 660,000 chips. Ari wins that hand. Just 34 years old, by the way. A decorated pro with over $5 million in earnings. And if my calculations are correct here, he's chasing Gary Herstein for the Player of the Year. And with a victory here, he can lock that up. That's 6 events for next year with hotel and buy-ins. I would say it's a pretty good prize for any player.
Absolutely. The season championship, not just the prize, the title, being known as the season champion of the whole series here on the HPT is a great thing to be awarded and to play for.
Jake makes the call with his king jack. Neil then goes all in with his ace-10. And now action over to Jake Baisley.
Jake, again, our chip leader, again in one of these marginal spots. You know, it really comes down to how many big blinds he's risking.
And it looks like he is going to make the call.
He doesn't like it, though. You see how he just slams the chips down, slams his cards over. Let's go.
Yeah,
Come on.
reluctantly makes that call. So Neil is in the lead with his ace-10. Jake with a suited king-jack here. And now we go to the flop. And the flop comes out queen, 6-5, couple of spades. So Jake doesn't like that at all. He's shaking his head. Neil's still in the lead. A little smile there from Neil. We go to the turn card. And the turn card, the 9 of clubs. So things getting better here for Jake.
Now a 10, a club, a jack, a king will vault him into the lead and send Neil to the rail, to the river.
And the river card is the tray of diamonds. So Neil's going to win the hand. He'll double up, keep his tournament hopes alive here at the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa St. Charles. Now, you talk about the prize pool here. We had 316 players, just about $705,000, but that's because this event was a little more expensive than our other ones, $2,500 for this special championship open.
And it's special. It is special. It's a championship event. It tends to bring out even the better players, tougher fields. But, you know, you never know what's going to happen here on the HPT. You can win a satellite, get in on the cheap, and you too can be playing for this life-changing cash along with these other players here as we look down at Neil Middleman.
And Neil is going to go all in with his 6-5 of hearts.
I call. I ain't even going to look at the second.
And Gil says, I'll make the call. I've got an ace in my hand. So Gil with his ace-4, going to make the call. Neil with a couple of live cards there, the 6-5 of hearts. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy.
Well, they know they got big paydays coming their way.
All right. We go to the flop now. You see a couple of jacks there, but more importantly, the 6 of diamonds. Good news there for Neil. He takes the lead.
And by quite a margin here.
Let's go to the turn card. And that turn card is the 8 of clubs. So Gil going to need to improve or he will be eliminated in 5th place. We go to the river card.
He's going to need an 8 or an ace.
And that river card is the King of Hearts. So that's going to do it for Gil George, the 71-year-old from DeSoto, Texas, $650 in career earnings. He adds to that tonight, just shy of $36,000. And when we come back, 4 players remain. They're all chasing that dream to be our next HPT champion. We're just 20 miles west of downtown St. Louis, the HPT on the road here in St. Charles, Missouri at the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa. I'm James Larson alongside Kenneth James, giving away a lot of cash tonight. Up top, just over $162,000. Neil Middleman now looks at 10-7 of spades. He's going to raise it up to $180,000 now to his counterpart, Neil Patel, the other Neil here at the final table.
He's considering his option. Now, Middleman has worked his way into second chip position, so he's opening it up here on the button. Ari gets out of the way as we're going to take this flop heads up between the two Neils, Middleman and Patel. Patel will be first to act. He's out of position.
All right, we go to the flop. Couple of kings and a 9, 2 hearts.
Nothing for anybody here.
Neil Patel will be first. He's going to check, as does Middleman. So let's go to the turn card here in the Battle of the Neils. It's the Jack of Clubs.
Yeah. And now it looks like Neil Patel is cutting out some chips and going for a value bet here.
Yeah, Patel pairs his Jack.
I think this is an easy fold here for Middleman, and he can just fold this and get on to the next one. The blind steal didn't work. You know, chasing a gut shot straight draw here. Unless he's got some other ideas in his mind, James. Maybe he's going to set up and not only just to try and make the hand, but he could represent a heart if a heart comes, or a club.
in which neither of those hit the river. You see, it is the 5 of diamonds.
Look at Neil Patel. Definitely checks. This is a great bluff catching play. When the misdraws get there, you allow your opponent to make a bet, and then you call it off and realize your value by bluff catching.
And that's exactly what's happening right there, as Middleman bets $525,000. And now Patel will make the call, and he'll see the good news. That good news, by the way, for Neil Patel, he's going to win this hand of almost 2 million chips.
How about how Neil Patel played this hand? He defended his equity in the blind with a marginal hand, had a weak draw on the flop, checked it, got the free card, then went for pot control and took the lead on the turn, and went for the bluff catch on the river. A well-played hand by Neil Patel.
Neil Patel, 36 years old. He's a poker professional, a man of many talents, born in London, England, 500,000 plus in lifetime earnings. And he told me he's the last local in the hunt for the title. And with 3 other players besides him, he's very close to that HPT title. And up top, $162,154. And we go back to Mr. Neil Patel. He's getting a lot of TV time.
Sure is. Now he's against Ari, who's looked down at King Queen, and it looks like he's got evil thoughts in his mind here.
Ari thinking about it. He looks over, checks the runner. He's kind of like a pitcher.
Yeah, he's checking the side. He's checking for the signs.
Boy, Ari with so much success. Over $5 million, lifetime earnings.
All in.
And that's an all-in. And Neil's going to like it. Neil's going to like it. He makes the call.
Look at this dramatic turn of events here on the championship table.
Wow.
Ari going ahead and pulling the trigger.
Ace-10 for Neil going up against Ari's King-Queen. You see Ari all in for his tournament life. He will need to improve, and he did right there. A queen, 10-5, 2 diamonds, and Ari pairs his queen.
He's found Lady Luck on the flop.
All right, we go to the turn card now. It's the 5 of spades. So now Neil is the one that needs to improve, or he's going to take a huge hit. And no luck for Neil. 8 of hearts falls on the river. So a pot of just over 3.6 million chips going to Ari Engel. And the other players at the table are saying, why did you have to give that young man more chips and more ammunition?
A very pivotal hand in this championship event final table for Ari Engel and for the rest of the players, as you rightly point out, James. Looking at the chip stacks once again, those teal are the big papas. Those are worth $100K a piece.
And speaking of stacks, chips, this tournament was stacked. Because of the $2,500 entry fee, we saw some huge names and a lot of big-name pros, and now we are down to our final 4. Ace, King, 8. It's a rainbow. That's the flop. Ari's going to check. Over to Jake.
Yeah, now, Jake, look at this. He's managing pot size against Ari instead of taking a bet. I would have preferred a bet there, especially when your opponent shows weakness. Once again, Ari looking over to the left. He's looking for signs.
Yeah, what is he doing over there?
I'm not sure. Maybe
I don't know if maybe the tournament clock or if he's, got a coach over there that's saying,
no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Swing away. All right, let's go to the river card. Tray of hearts.
Look at this now. Ari escapes. He escapes this pot because his opponent didn't take the lead when offered to him. Ari picks up the lead on the turn and now makes the best hand on the river. Is going to go for some value. I've got to see Jake is really going to probably pay this off because of the missed straight and missed flush draw on the turn that his opponent could possibly have in his hand.
And he's going to pay it off and realize I had him all the way until the river card.
And had Jacob taken the lead in this pot, it looks like he is going to pay him off and see the bad news. I don't think it really would have made a difference.
In poker, you got to be good, and you have to get lucky. And that man right there, Ari Engel, just did on that last hand. And we'll see if his luck can continue right here on the HPT. We'll be right back after these words. Welcome back to the HPT. We're in St. Charles, Missouri, here at the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa. I'm James Larson, alongside Ken and James, and the James gang is back. 4 players left here. We're playing 40,000, 80,000 with a 10K ante.
And looks like Neil Patel has got a headache here. So he looks down at his chips, deciding what to do, and he moves all in.
Well, he's got pocket 5s. That is a hand that can sometimes give players a little bit of a headache, but he decides to shove, get all his chips in the middle, and now over to Ari Engel. And he's going to make the call. 705,000 he puts in the middle. 2 overs to Neil's pocket 5s.
You know, it is, 16 to 1 to be dealt a pocket pair, so you figure to have the best hand. I didn't like his body language, and that might have affected Ari's decision to call here. So we go to a coin flip.
And the flop, bam, all diamonds. Ace, Jack, 8. So Ari flops 2 pair. And Neil stands up. He doesn't like that at all. As you can see, neither player has a diamond in their hand. Turn card is the 3 of spades. So Neil looking to catch one of the remaining 5s in the deck. Otherwise, he'll be leaving us in 4th place. And we go to the river card, and it's the Jack of spades. So that's going to do it. Ari wins the hand. Neil eliminated, just under $48,000. A nice little payday for the last local left standing here at the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa. Now, speaking of Ari Engel, he needs an outright win at this final table to win the Player of the Year award. This is the last event of the season. If he finishes 2nd or lower, then Gary Herstein will be our Player of the Year. Ari's not thinking about that. He's thinking about the other 2 players at this table. He wants this title more than anything. Action on Mr. Engel, and he's going to raise with his Queen 9.
Yeah, action has been fast and furious. We're still at 40 and 80K with a 10K ante here. Ari positioning himself solidly in 2nd place now. Jacob deciding to defend here. Ari with the Queen 9, Jacob with the Ace 8 as we go to the flop.
Jake and Ari, a couple of these young phenoms. Ace, King 9, couple of clubs. You talk about career earnings. Jake Baisley, just over $4 million.
Yeah, and Ari, he's got him topped off in that as well. There he goes.
Who's he looking at over there?
He's looking at his wide receiver.
Yeah, that could be.
Yep. Letting him know we're gonna run for the touchdown here. He leads even with bottom pair on the board. Jacob obviously gonna defend here, at least with the call. I like a raise here though, especially with the board, a little bit wet with flushing cards out there with clubs and draws. Again, he's taking the passive line against Ari, and now it's going to make it a more difficult decision here.
Yeah, another club there on the board. 10 of clubs comes on the turn, a pot of just under 1 million chips. We need to ask him in the break what he's looking at.
There may be some flies. There may be some flies.
I don't think there's flies. It could be the tournament clock. It could be a lot of different things. I have no idea. Maybe it's just
cute. I like it. I actually like it.
It's cute, he says. Another club here. This one on the river, the 5 of clubs. Neither player with a club in their hand. And this could go check potentially here.
But you know what? Ari might not give up on this pot. This might be a great bluff card if he finds a nice polarizing bet, but he shuts down. Doesn't decide to run a bluff here, and Jacob's going to win this pot.
All right, 3 players remain here at this HPT final table. James Larson, my name, alongside Ken and James. Great to be back here in the St. Louis area. You're a Cub fan. I'm a Twin fan, so we're not always welcome around the stadium. But no, great people around here.
Absolutely.
And a $2,500 buy-in, a prize pool of just under $705,000. Getting a little cooler in here, as you can see.
Yeah.
Jake puts the hoodie up. He's ready to play some serious poker and try to take down this HPT main event.
He finds Ace 9, raises on the button, but look at Neil Middleman here now with pocket pair. 3-handed. Remember, guys, 16 to 1 to be dealt a pair. This is the time to get aggressive.
All in.
And sure enough, there he goes. All his chips to the middle. Ari quickly out of the hand. Action back to Jacob.
And it looks like he's asking the dealer for a count.
Yep, they're going to count it down. You know, I really don't like a call here for this many chips. Even though you have ace-9, it's just very few hands you're going to be dominating. Unless you think your opponent is moving with ace-8 or worse, at best you're in a coin flip. But he does make the call, and he's going to be happy to find out that's exactly what he's doing. He's flipping for stacks here, 2 overs versus the pair.
All right, Neil Middleman will need his hand to hold up, otherwise he'll be eliminated if Jacob improves. We go to the flop, Queen 9-5, couple of diamonds, but most importantly, the 9 of diamonds for Jacob to go in the lead.
Yep, and Neil Middleman taking off the headphones as a turn comes an ace. He's down to 2 outs, 5% chance. Looks like he's wrapping up his headphones and his dreams of winning this title.
That river card is the 4 of spades, and just like that, another player eliminated, this time Neil Middleman, and he's going to go home third place. Great payday, though, for Neil, $68,737.
Nearly $70,000 for Neil, but the dilemma of being so close to an HPT championship only to have it slip through your fingers on a coin flip, a standard situation. Still, congratulations, Neil, on a well-played tournament.
All right, 2 players left. Will your champion be Jacob? Will it be Ari Engel? You're going to have to stick around for the conclusion. It's all coming up next, right here on the HPT.
The $2,500 Season 13 Championship Open returns here on the HPT as we broadcast from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa in St. Charles. And you saw the chip counts there, neck and neck. It's a horse race.
It really is as we come down to the finish line here. Look at these hands here.
Yeah, the eights are a little sticky.
Yeah, Jake is now raised on the button, 240. I think that's standard. You know, any king or better.
Right.
Raising on the button, and now Ari with the pocket pair. Looks like he's getting out those teal 100,000 chips to make a 3-bet re-raise to 850,000.
All right, action back here. Now he's looking around. There might be flies buzzing around the tournament area.
There's spirit
Right,
spirit guides.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this should be an easy fold by Jacob here and just go on to the next hand. Looks like he's entertaining some deceitful thoughts, though.
A lot on the line right now. You see the difference between second and first, about $60,000.
No, James, he's grabbed a whole stack of teal, looking to steal.
Wow,
He's gonna make a replay.
He's making a move here. He's making a move, and he's probably not going to like the result because Ari now will probably come over the top all in.
You would think, but you know when you've gotten 4-bet, you got your pair starts to shrink up. You know,
but you are playing
like
heads
you're
up
dipping
poker,
your
though.
toe into a ice cold pool.
But your heads up. You've got a pocket pair. You got to love him.
What's he gonna do? I don't know.
Yeah, he's all in.
He does. He does move on.
No,
He pulls the trigger. That's going to be
no,
it
Jake's
for
not
Jacob.
gonna like
No.
this.
This is a play gone bad. Oh, yep. Squeeze it out, buddy. Squeeze it out. Now he's actually got to look at pot odds.
Yeah,
he
you're
may have
right.
priced himself so far
You're right.
into this pot.
And he's going to fold. Ari's
Wow,
going to
what a
win the
hand.
pot. Yeah, what a hand that was. Now, speaking of Ari, he won an HPT at River City Casino in St. Louis. That was back in 2013. He also finished second here at Ameristar St. Charles in 2016. So I guess it's fitting, right, when you're looking at the story, for him to win a title here. And not only would he win the title, but Player of the Year. So
he gets all those additional benefits as Jacob limps in on the button with the Jack Deuce of Diamonds over to Ari. Now he's stepping it up. He's raising out of position with the 9-8 offsuit, putting his opponent to a decision. When your opponent shows weakness, it's nice to follow up with strength, and that's what Ari does here.
And now $300,000 to make the call, and Jake does just that.
Well, Jacob's got the, has table position, so you're going to call a lot of hands, even in case you can do this.
Yeah,
he flops trips.
Big flop there for Jacob. 3 deuces. Action will be on Ari, and you probably expect him to make a bet here, right,
Yeah,
Kenneth?
I expect him to c-bet. He took the lead pre-flop. And now if Jacob is smart here, he'll just flat. As my friend Lane Flack likes to say, don't do the pushing when the donkey's a-pulling.
I like that line. I want to remember that.
Oh, and he moves all
in.
Yeah, I don't like this play
A
by
little
Jacob.
surprised about the aggression there, and Ari's going to quickly fold. Jacob will win that pot.
I think Jacob was actually thinking Ari had maybe a big hand. And if he did, his play looks great, you know. But I think at least in that spot, he pulled the trigger way too fast.
You're watching exclusive coverage of the HPT, our $2,500 entry here at the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa in St. Charles, our championship open. We do this once a year, and it's fun to have a little bigger buy-in. Gets that prize pool up there. You know, we hit almost $705,000, so congratulations to all the players that cashed, and thanks for coming up. There he is, checking that. He's checking that runner again on first base before he grabs chips. You see the flop, 10-8 for a couple of clubs.
Now, Ari raised this flop, a traditional 2.5 big blind, and Jacob decided to defend with the Jack-4. I think that's a pretty wide defend. Again, it goes check call on the flop. Again, Jacob defending his equity with a pair. I think that's fine. Now, Ari, he's also picked up a straight draw along with third pair on the board. This is a little bit of an aggressive bet here. It's okay. His opponent's shown weakness, but also determination in making a call on the turn.
Yeah, Baisley makes the call there of 625,000 chips. And now we go to the river, the tray of hearts. Jacob will be first.
I expect this to go check, check. After the way the hand is played, it looks like Jacob has a flush draw and has missed. Ari has nothing but third pair to the board. I don't know what he's thinking about. This seems like an automatic check to me. But, you know, he's got other ideas. All in.
You heard
he
the
just
man.
moved all in.
All in.
All in with third pair. Is he? I'm not sure if this is a bluff or is he going for some really sick value.
You heard him. He's all in, and now action over to Jacob just with his 4s here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really befuddled by this play here. And befuddled is not a word I use often.
Yeah, you don't usually use the word befuddled.
Yeah, but this has got me befuddled, and it looks like it's got Jacob befuddled as well, as he's having a difficult time fighting. I think I figured it out. Ari wants to represent a missed flush draw, hoping to get called by ace high.
All right, listen, I'm so befuddled, I need to take a break, okay? I promise we'll be right back with more HPT after these words. Welcome back to the HPT. As you can see, Ari Engel on top right now. About a 2-1 chip lead as we broadcast from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa here in St. Charles, Missouri. I'm James Larson alongside Ken and James. Ari going to raise, as he should, with his pocket 4s over to Jake with 10-8.
And Jacob looking to defend. And I think that's normal with a single gapper unsuited 10-8.
And then we go to the flop right in the window there, the 4 of spades as the cards run out 9-7-4. So Yahtzee there for Mr. Ari, but not a bad flop either for Jake, who's open-ended.
Yeah, and he checks his open-ended straight draw. I expect him to call here. Looks like he's getting out raising chips.
Well, that's a good flop, really, for Jacob. Heads up here, open-ended, and he's going to raise it now to $675,000. Now, you obviously want Ari here just to make the smooth call.
Yeah, I like it. You know, it's tough to know when to put the foot on the gas, when to take it off. But when you flop a set heads up, it's like gold. So you want to mine for as many chips as you can get. And if your opponent is running a bluff like Jacob is here, even though it's a semi-bluff, give him a chance to bluff again. And when he doesn't, charge him for it, which is what Ari's going to do here, I imagine.
Is go for some value there.
Yeah. Maybe a half pot size bet here.
Well, he's going to bet $375,000.
Interesting.
And that's Jacob's going to make this call for $375,000 into a pot of, $2,245,000 open-ended, heads up, national TV, playing for the title.
Yeah, I think Ari makes a little misstep here on the turn now with just such a weak bet, giving his opponent great odds to draw and suck out.
And the river card is the Queen of Spades, so that leaves Jacob with nothing, really. Doesn't hit his card that he's looking for, any of his cards.
Yeah.
And now Ari here with a set of fours.
Just going to go. Bet sizing here again, so crucial. Obviously, we know he's not going to get paid, but it's nice to see what Ari does as far as execution here and what size bet sizing sticks with probably a weak size bet. And he does. Now, see, I like this because you're begging for a call, but at 10 high, he's not going to find it.
Yeah, Jacob's going to show that. Ari smiles a little bit.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, he realizes he could have gotten a lot more value there. It's always, it's easier for us to see up here when you can see the cards than when you're down trying to
So true.
judge and guess what does my opponent actually have.
Boy, and a lot on the line here between first and second, as you can see. 162,154 down to second, 102,647. So we're playing for $59,000 or $60,000 here, as Ari's going to raise to $250,000 with his King 5, and he's quickly called. And look at the flop here. All things going very well for Ari as the flop comes out King, Jack 5, and 2 pair from Mr. Engel.
Yeah, and what's even more important, his opponent has caught a piece of this flop with the Jack. So he's not just going to bet and take it. He's going to get some additional value with his bet and call on the flop to the turn.
Turn card is the 10 of hearts. So now a Broadway draw here for Jacob. Any queen gives him a Broadway straight.
Ace would give him a higher 2 pair. Ari fires again. It looks like Ari's, content with a chip lead to fire weak size, about quarter size, of the pot bet. That's interesting. It's interesting to see his decision making there.
River card now is the King of Hearts. So Ari's hand improves now to a full house. Jacob's going to check.
Boy, the deck really has been hitting Ari tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah, and he's just kind of whittling his opponent down, one chip at a time. And that's the goal in the end, is to have all the chips. Yep. So however he decides to go about doing that is all that matters to him, I guess.
That's a good point, James. The winner of the tournament is the one who ends up with all the chips.
All the chips,
That's simple. And Jacob finds a nice fold here on the river.
All right, so as a poker coach, what do you tell Jacob right now? The chips here getting pretty lopsided. It's definitely not over, but what advice do you give to Jacob?
Well, my first piece of advice would be not to defend too light from out of position. I think he's defending too light. His timing is off. His hand values are off just a little bit, but now he's found pocket queens.
Yeah, I don't need a poker coach to tell me what to do here. I can tell you what to do. Get those chips in the middle and hope your opponent wakes up with a hand, which this is probably good enough to call your heads up, and Ari's got an ace.
Yeah, I expect Ari to call this. Looks like his opponent is frustrated, even though we can see he's not. He's actually got a hand.
Ari Engel, if he wins this, will be our HPT Player of the Year. Gary Herstein right now in Chicago, probably standing on his feet in his living room going, come on, Jacob. Make sure these queens hold up,
Pull
man.
it together, man.
I want those 6 buy-ins and those 6 hotel rooms next year. All right, well, folks, if Ari does improve and go in the lead and win the hand, this will be it. But right now, good news for Jacob. His pocket queen's in the lead. We go to the flop, and look at that. Just like that, a queen comes out queen 4 deuce. So Jacob, he's going to take a little drink of that beer, as he should.
A little toast to himself.
Turn card now is the 8 of diamonds. That does do it. So a full double up here for Jacob.
Yeah. Wow, this is really exciting here. This double up, he's still going to have about a 2-to-1 disadvantage. When we come back, the action is hot in this championship event. Come back and join us for more action right here on the HPT.
Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson alongside Kenneth James, and two players remain, Ari and Jacob. Let's get right back to the action. Someone's going to win a whole lot of money tonight. Actually, second place, not too shabby either. Jacob wakes up with ace-king. He's going to raise to $300,000.
Yeah, and it looks like Ari is going to
re-raise with his ace-7.
Wow.
I love heads-up poker.
It's okay. I like fighting for the lead when you're out of position and you have a reasonable hand like Ari does, but not going to work this time. It's really a matter of how Jacob's going to play it. He just elects to call.
Yeah, surprised at that.
I don't like it because now you're almost flop dependent. Let's see what it comes.
We go to the flop now. It comes out King, Jack, Trey. So
little do I know now.
Right,
now
yeah,
it's set up perfectly. Set up perfectly. He's got the guy, his opponent on the line. He should just call again since he set up the trap perfectly pre-flop. And he does. I like it. Now, what do I know? Geez, these guys are playing for six-figure paydays. I'm up here just spewing nonsense.
For not a six-figure payday. Turn card is the 8 of diamonds.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Ari slows down now. Well, he checks his spirit guide.
Check the runner over there.
Checks the spirit guide.
We got a man on base.
Yep, man on base.
Okay, a pot there swelling up to almost $2.8 million.
What? All in?
He's all in.
No. Oh, what a turn of events.
Fortunes are changing here on the HPT.
What's Jacob waiting for?
Yeah, what I mean, come on, the show's only an hour. I mean, what's he waiting for?
He's got it. No.
No, he's not folding.
No.
He's going to take down the pot.
No, he's not folding.
What?
Well, how did he
all right, I finally figured out what Ari's doing. He's getting his spirit guides to go over and cast a spell on Jacob.
How does he
fold top pair there?
How does he fold that there?
You know what I think it is? This is it. When you are faced for a decision for all your chips and you got all this money, the title on the line, sometimes you just get on brain freeze. You have a brain fart or whatever, and that must have been what happened because now he gets it all in. Again, a significant favor to 2-1, but he would have been a slam dunk on that last hand.
Well, that's in the past. Now on this hand, Jacob in the lead with his king, queen, going up against 8-4, trying to double up once again. 10-9 deuce, couple of spades. That's the flop. So far, so good for Mr. Baisley.
Yeah, he's got a dominant lead in this hand. Once again, we go to the turn.
And the turn card is the 4 of clubs. And Ari goes in the lead, and now he's just one card away from being our newest HPT champion.
Oh, my. A lot on the line as we go to the river.
Jacob needs to catch a jack, a queen, or a king, and it's the 7 of spades, so that's it. Your new HPT champion is Ari Engel, going home with the title and just over $162,000.
And let's not forget a fine performance by Jacob Baisley. He goes home with over $102,000 for his efforts.
What an exciting way to wrap up season 13 here at our Championship Open.
What a bizarre turn of events there with Jacob laying down the best hand, then having the best hand only to get outdrawn by Ari's 8-4 suited. Wow, you never know what's going to happen here on the HPT.
A second place finish for Jacob Baisley, but hey, it's a six-figure second place finish, and he is tableside with our tournament director, Jeremy Smith. Guys?
Second place, what was your strategy during your heads-up play?
To try to not let the deck hit Ari in the face, but that didn't help out, so.
It didn't help out. You did have you did make pair on that last hand there. Tell me about that last hand.
I finally got a good hand heads up, and he went all in. I called it off, and, there's a lot of luck in poker, and he got there, so.
Most definitely.
He played very well, though. He deserved to win.
Yeah, you guys had a great match, heads up. Still walking away with $100,000. Great Christmas money.
Yep.
What's your plans for the money?
Buy some Christmas presents for some nieces and nephews. Yep.
Good. Well, there we have it. Our second place finisher, Jake Baisley, with just over $100,000 in cash.
Once again, congratulations. A six-figure second place finish for Jacob Baisley. But in poker, there can only be one champion. This week, it's 34-year-old Ari Engel.
Yeah, over $160,000 for first place. What's a 34-year-old going to do with all that cabbage?
Such a great question, and we'll send it down to Jeremy Smith for the tableside interview.
Absolutely. This was a tough field. 316 players. You're the last one remaining. This is probably one of the toughest fields I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, definitely, the championship event, so you kind of expect it to be tougher than some of the other tournaments. The play at the final table was very strong, and a lot of strong players were there, and I definitely didn't have to win, and I'm real grateful that I did.
What's your plans for the money?
I don't really have plans for it. I'm a professional poker player, so my buy-ins add up a lot over the course of the year, and this is going to go towards making sure that I stay a profitable player and pay for my life, and yeah.
Pay for my life? Pay for my life? How about this wisdom from this 34-year-old poker phenom? He knows survival's not guaranteed. If you want a cup of coffee, you're going to have to pay for it. Well, my friend, you've earned your cup of coffee tonight. Congratulations.
Well, yeah, and I think you can pay for about 160,000 of those cups of coffee. Once again, congratulations to Ari Engel. And that's going to do it for this week, the $2,500 Championship Open. Special thanks to everybody here at the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa in beautiful St. Charles, Missouri. If you want to give the HPT a shot, log on to our website at hptpoker.com, and who knows, maybe you'll be playing for the Unreal Cash. For Kenneth James, I'm James Larson, and we'll see you next time right here on the HPT.